Hi everyone. So today I am going to give you a short tutorial on Gizmos. So Gizmos is a huge library of online simulations. The Gizmos are geared towards the math and sciences, and they cover all different topics ranging from grade 3 all the way up until grade 12. So you can see that there is a huge library. There are over 400 gizmos that are covering all those different math and science topics from grade 3 to grade 12. So right now, this is my teacher's view. So I have a teacher's account, and right now I am currently on a free trial. So Gizmos is not completely free. There is a free membership, but with the free membership, you only have access to 40 out of the 400 gizmos. But the 40 gizmos do refresh every couple months, so you do get to try out new gizmos even if you do have a free membership. There are membership plans that are associated with your school board, so if you did want to have full access, you could request a quote from your school board, and that way you can have access to all 400 gizmos. So I'll show you just a few selections of gizmos and what it's like to browse the site. So this is the browsing area of gizmos, and you can see here that there's some different filters you can apply to make the gizmos easily searchable. So you can actually have different countries here. So these are the curriculums that are associated with the United States, UK, and Australia. Right now we're in Canada. And again, you can filter it by province. You can see that the gizmos cover all math and science from grade 3 all the way up to grade 12. And they cover all of the different topics associated with those grades. Let's just do a quick search here on matter, and then you can see here all the gizmos that are associated with that topic. Another really cool search feature that Gizmo has is you can also search by textbook. So Gizmos has a list of all the popular textbooks. Let's say McGraw-Hill, I know that's a popular one. And then you can also filter by the gizmos that are associated to the topics that are taught in the textbook. So that's another really cool feature. And the one last filter you can apply here are STEM cases. So the STEM cases are longer, more involved, and more in-depth gizmos. So you can also filter by those as well. So let's go to my classroom. So right now I'm in the teacher's view. So here are my classes, and it's really easy to manage. So say if I had a 3U bio course, period 1, I can add that. And then over here is the code that I would give to my students. So all the students need, it's free for students to use. All they need is a login, and they'll just enter in this code and they'll be automatically enrolled in my period 1 bio class. So really easy to manage, and you would be able to see all your class lists here if you did have students in your class. Of course, I don't have any students right now. Right? So here is where you would assign your gizmos to your classes. You would see the results. So let's just go to one here, cell structure. So this is the teacher's view. So from here, each gizmo has some really key pieces down here. So you can see the student exploration sheet, you can see the teacher's guide, and you can also see the vocabulary sheet. So the teacher's guide is a really helpful tool for the teacher, and it gives background information about the gizmo, and it also gives many tips on how you can integrate the gizmo into your lesson. So you can see here it gives a list of vocabulary, it gives some lesson overview, and it gives all these pointers on how you can embed the gizmo within the lesson that you're teaching that day. So you can see here it has some suggestions for pre-gizmo activities, for post-gizmo, some discussion questions, some follow-up activities, and it even gives you some links to external resources you can see here. So the teacher guide is really helpful for you as a teacher for structuring your lesson plans around your gizmos. Also included is a vocabulary sheet, which is just a list of vocab, which again, as a teacher, really helpful for your lesson plan. And then finally is the student exploration sheet. So the student exploration sheets that go along with the gizmos, these can be used as the form of assessment. So as a student works for the gizmos, they can be going through and completing all the questions on these exploration sheets, which then you can use as their assessment for the gizmo. Another helpful feature that they have here is that they have the exploration sheets in the form of Google Docs. So if you wanted to assign it as a group work and have some collaboration going on, the students can answer the question collaboratively on the Google Doc. So all of this makes these gizmos really user-friendly for either hybrid classrooms or even strictly online classrooms, or even just a fully in-person classroom, because it allows online students to collaborate with in-class students. So I'll launch the gizmo so you can see what it looks like from the student's perspective. All right, so this is just a really short, simple gizmo. It's not long, doesn't have too many features, but the one common feature that all the gizmos have is that they're all interactive. So you can see here, I can manipulate all different factors while I'm using the gizmo. So instead, maybe just showing a slideshow presentation with a labeled image of a cell, the teacher might want to do a gizmo. That way students can, interact and explore different concepts themselves, right? So we already saw the student exploration sheet, which can be used as a form of assessment. If you look here, many of the gizmos include these questions here that the students can complete as they're going through their gizmo, and these can also be used as a form of assessment. All right, so the embedded questions within the gizmo, as well as the exploration sheet, teachers can make whole projects and whole assessment out of these gizmos. I'll just go back to my library and just show you one of the more advanced gizmos. And you can see here, this one, this evolution one, also even comes with an AP version, which could be a nice accommodation to use for AP students, gifted students, or just to give your class a little extra challenge. But I'll click on this here, and you can see that these in-depth case studies are a little bit longer. So these can be used for the whole period, and they can also be used as a substitute for a traditional wet lab. So these gizmos make a great substitute, say, if maybe your school is lacking resources, lacking lab supplies, or if you have a hybrid situation going on, you can assign a gizmo instead of hosting a traditional wet lab. And you can see here that they're really interactive. Right? I can do an experiment the same way that I would be doing if I was in the lab. Right? So this one has many different features, and I've run this gizmo before with my classes during practicum, and it's also embedded with a lot of assessment questions. So there's short answer and long answer questions embedded within this gizmo. And you can't see it now because I don't have any students enrolled, but these gizmos also come with a heat map. So you would actually be able to track all your students in real time and see what questions they are on, what questions they've answered, and their progress in the lab. And one final feature I do want to show you with gizmos. There are so many to search through, over 400. So it might be a little overwhelming. What gizmo do I choose? Which one might fit my class? How do I even use gizmos? They also offer a professional development section to their website, which I think is a really nice feature. So if you're unsure how to use gizmos, they have a bunch of video tutorials. And if you wanted some tips on how to integrate them into your classroom and how to be successful on integrating them into your classroom, they have a whole bunch of resources and videos for you to watch as a teacher to get tips and tricks on how to use these gizmos in your classroom. So that is my brief tutorial. Hopefully it will get you inspired on how to maybe use some of these gizmos, and if there's any math and science teachers out there, maybe you can use some of these for your future classes. Thanks.